The rat dungeon. If you were alive in medieval London, you wouldn't need proof that it existed. You would only need to hear the way people spoke about it. Quiet voices, avoided eye contact, a kind of fear that didn't come from imagination, but from knowing that somewhere beneath the stone and iron of the city, there was a place designed not just to punish, but to erase a person slowly. Deep below the tower, past the guarded halls and cold corridors, there was said to be a chamber carved into darkness itself. No windows, no torches, no sound except what the prisoner brought with him. When someone was thrown into that cell, they weren't meant to come back out. Not quickly, not cleanly. The dungeon sat beneath the river's reach. Not above it, not beside it, but just low enough that the water dictated what happened inside. The tides rose and fell, indifferent to whoever might be chained in the dark. And when the water rose, it didn't come alone. The river carried life, filth, debris, and things that survived in both. Rats. When the banks flooded, their nests disappeared beneath the water. They scattered, searching for anything dry, anything safe, anything they could reach, and eventually, they found the only place left untouched by the rising tide. The dungeon. The prisoner wouldn't see them. That was the worst part. Sight would have given warning. Sight would have given shape to fear. But in total darkness, the mind filled in the gaps with something far worse. At first, it was nothing. Then a faint scratch, stone against claw, a pause, another, then more. It never came all at once. It built slowly, carefully, like something testing the space. A single movement turning into many. A quiet presence becoming a surrounding one. The sound of bodies shifting in the dark, unseen but close. The prisoner would kick, swat, thrash against the chains. For a while, it worked. The movement scared them off. Bought time. But time was the one thing the prisoner didn't have. Hunger drove the rats back. Again and again, each time a little closer. Each time a little bolder. The first bite was small. Quick, almost uncertain. Then another. Then more. Pain turned to panic. Panic turned to exhaustion. And exhaustion always won. It didn't matter how strong someone was. It didn't matter how long they fought. In the end, the body gave in. And when it did, the rats no longer hesitated. Some prisoners lasted hours, some days, but the ending never changed. Only the pace did. No light, no rescue, just the sound of claws in the dark. The rack. Unlike the dungeon, the rack was never hidden. It didn't need to be. Its power came from being seen. From being understood before it was even used. It stood as a warning long before it became a weapon. A simple structure at first glance. Wood, rope, iron. Nothing about it looked complex. Nothing about it suggested the level of damage it could cause. But that was the point. It didn't rely on surprise. It relied on inevitability. When a prisoner was brought in, they already knew what it was for. There was no mystery, no confusion, only waiting. The process began slowly, always slowly. The prisoner was laid down, arms stretched above, legs pulled tight below. Wrists and ankles secured with rope that wouldn't snap, wouldn't loosen, wouldn't give. Then came the sound, the first click of the mechanism. It was small, almost harmless, a turn of a handle, a shift in tension, but the body felt it immediately. Muscles tightened, joints resisted. There was a limit to how far the human frame could stretch, and the rack was designed to find that limit with precision. And then push past it. Another click. The ropes tightened further. The body lengthened unnaturally, shoulders strained against their sockets. Hips pulled apart. The spine, curved under pressure it wasn't meant to endure. The pain wasn't explosive. It didn't come in a burst. It built, layer by layer, moment by moment. That was intentional, because the goal wasn't just suffering. It was control. Between each turn, there was a pause. A question, a demand, a chance to confess, to speak, to say anything that would make it stop. And many did. Truth didn't matter. Guilt didn't matter. The rack didn't care who was innocent. It only cared how much a body could take before the mind broke. Some held out, for a while, but the body has limits. And when the next click came, those limits shattered. A joint would slip, then another, a sharp, unmistakable crack. The sound echoed,